Here's another working poor family, working class family, blue collar family, living paycheck to paycheck. Takes this mother who's on welfare and works with her. Now she's getting, deservedly so, but works with her, carrying that mother and those 3 children to church every Sunday, getting them involved in stuff. Mom, help them get a, it was a subsidized housing, but help them do that, help them move, help them in all these little different ways. She's getting her welfare check and she's getting the food stamps and everything like that. She needs it. In the evenings, once all the kids got into school, in the evening, she started taking evening classes at the community college. And her church family and us we babysit, help watch the kids, help cover the gaps and everything like that. She gets a degree as a paralegal. And she works herself off of welfare. Why? You can't get comfortable where you're at. I posted a video about, when I was in Florida, so it was two or three weeks ago now, saying how I needed to lose weight. I've been thinking about this for 5 years. While I gradually my gut gets bigger and bigger. But you can get comfortable living the way you live, or you can say, you know what, there's a better way. In most cases, you have to take a step back from where you are. You have to step out of where you are and look and go, why is it the way it is? If you pause and ask why, you'll be the genius in your family. For real. Because most of us are just functioning on a mindset, a perspective that was handed down to us from our family. And it controls every aspect of our life. It is your subconscious. That is your subconscious. You might think that you're consciously making choices. No, your subconscious is making, the ratio is like 4,000 to 1. For every conscious thought that you have, for every conscious choice you make, you have about 4,000 subconscious choices and reactions and responses that are just happening without you even thinking about it. So there's a picture. I'll draw it. Maybe I won't. Do they keep markers around here?
See if it's on the other side of the board.
No. No. Anyways, can you find one? Somebody? Maybe? Yeah. I'm gonna go look in the filing cabinet. I can describe it in a word picture. I want you to picture an elephant. Okay? And the elephant is slowly walking south. Okay? There's an elephant that is slowly walking south. On his back, on the elephant's back, is an ant. And the ant is walking north. The ant has decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get out of this place that I'm at. I don't like where I'm at. I'm going to change. I'm going to set my compass on true north. I'm going to follow the North Star, and I'm going to get out of the situation that I'm in. And so the ant on the back of the elephant begins to walk north. Ooh. I'm going north. I'm going north. North. And he's making real progress. He's making real progress. And the elephant takes one step south. The elephant's walking south. And the ant is walking north on the elephant. Where do you think the ant is going to end up? Huh? No. Huh? No, he's going to end up south. He's on the elephant. The elephant's walking south. He's on the elephant. The elephant takes the equivalent of one of his steps is equal to 4,000 of the ant's steps. The ant ain't going nowhere except where the elephant takes him. That's your conscious and your subconscious. See, consciously, you have decided, I'm going to change. Subconsciously, your decisions are just part of something that's inside you, core beliefs, a perspective, what you would call normal. Some of you get very, your butt puckers up if I start talking about losing weight, getting healthy, or getting off of welfare, or giving up your EBT card. I don't like that. Ain't no one's living in a penthouse on an EBT card. Had a man come out of jail, and he was working with me, and this is when I had my lawn care business. This was before the ministry, but the chaplain would call me and say, I got this guy, and he's a good guy, and he needs some work, and doesn't really have, whatever, can you help him out? And so, we're mowing lawns and stuff. And he's like, man, there's some nice homes here, and, nice yards and flower beds and, nice, and, the circular drive and a BMW sitting there, and, and I'm gonna live in a place like this. I'm going to live in a place like this. This is living. But then the whole rest of the day, he'd be talking about, worrying about, and fussing about, need to get down to the welfare department and sign up, and I'm going to be getting, I'm trying to get disability, and after about 3 days of this, we were mowing grass beside some doctor's lawn, in a nice neighborhood. I said, look around. I said, look around. Ain't no one in these houses getting an EBT card, a disability check, a crazy check. Ain't nobody. You can't have it both. You can't have both. Now, here's another thing. Half the people in this room would get offended if I insulted your intelligence. I probably have insulted your intelligence. But at some point, we have to own our lack of intelligence. Just own it. My people, the Bible says, my people perish for a lack of knowledge. So if you're perishing, if your life is less than what you want it to be, you got to own the fact that you need to learn something. Listen, there are so many scriptures in Proverbs that talk about, how you get wealth, the mindset you have to have. Rise early. Rise early. Man, I don't see why we have to get up. What, you learned something. We're trying to reset. We're trying to recalibrate you so you can be a success. Rise early. The Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. So you know what? Rise early. First thing, put God on your mind. God, this is your day. What are your plans for me today, God? You probably weren't raised to think that way. You probably didn't have that exampled in front of you growing up. Did you? Did your mama get you up at 7 a.m., an hour before school? Did you hear the bacon frying in the pan and mom down, fixing you breakfast, packing you lunch, calling you, waking you up and say, hey, come on downstairs. It's time to eat. And then we're going to do devotion. Oh. That's something you need to get in you. That's something you need to get in you. Why, man? That's an awesome habit. Awesome habit. Get up. Not the first thing on your mind is, let me go, get my hit of nicotine. Let me put my mind on the Lord. Let me put something healthy in my body. Healthy in my body. Listen, otherwise, I'm just telling you, you're going to perish. You're either doing things, you're either creating habits that lead to life, or habits that lead to death. Habits that lead to prosperity, a little slumber, a little sleep, a little folding of the hands, and what's the Bible say? Poverty comes. Huh? That was your proverb this morning? Just wait another 8 days. The first of the month is going to be here. Huh?
Now, is that to say for people that try other ways to try to keep the comfort zone? Like, for example, I know you were talking about the EEP and all that, but if I can add, don't forget those that try to do strap metal or plasma every day.
Yeah, well, listen. That's one step up. And listen, I'm not down in the individual. I told you what my motto is, right? I have a motto. My motto is not an arrogant motto, a motto that I live by. If it's humanly possible, I'm human. Now, someone say that's a very arrogant statement. No, that's a very humbling statement. It's a very humbling statement. Because just like that guy, it's a perspective that you look at through the world, and you can, instead of going, oh, I want that, and being jealous or having a thought, that would never happen for me. I can't have that. I can't do that. And making 10 excuses, 15 excuses for why you don't have what you have. Why you don't have the health you have. Oh, because I have a predisposition to diabetes. I have a predisposition to obesity. I have a predisposition to whatever. It's an excuse. No, it's true. It's in my family tree. And I know I'm upsetting some people right now. But here's the truth. I could parade 100 people in front of you that have heavier mamas than you have. That have people in their families tree that have had limbs amputated because of diabetes. But you look at them and they're more fit than I am. Not that I am the model of health or anything. But what's the difference? They made a decision. I ain't going that way. They made a decision. I'm not going to hide behind an excuse, because if I can find one person who is fit and trim and healthy and who has beat diabetes, who has beat whatever your disease is that's in your family, that has beat cancer, that has beat some skin disease or whatever, and they made up in their mind, is there a way to defeat this? Is there a way to victory? Is there a way not to suffer with this? Let me do some research. Let me find out. Let me change my lifestyle so it doesn't affect me. And yes, will you always have to be, listen, I'm not saying that you aren't predisposed to that. Guess what? You have to work twice as hard. But tell the truth. The truth is, I don't want to work twice as hard. I would rather use an excuse. Just own it. See how humble that keeps you? If it's humanly possible, I'm human. See, we can go, you don't understand my lifestyle. You don't understand the abuse I took as a kid. Listen, Again, it's horrible. Like, it is horrible. Like, I know that half of the people in this room, if we made a movie of your life, if we made a movie of your childhood, if we made a movie of how you were raised and the things that happened to you, you know what? If we made a movie of it, people would say it's fiction. They wouldn't even believe it's true. So I'm not saying that it's not horrible, okay? I'm not saying it wasn't bad. What I'm saying is as bad as yours is, I could bring an individual. Tell me what your situation is that you're facing. I can find an individual in this town. I don't have to go outside this town. I can find an individual in this town who had a worse situation than you had. Name it. Everybody in my family has died at 50 years of age with diabetes. I can find somebody that has a exact same story, but they're fit. For the ladies, well, it's hard. You can't, you know what I love about this ministry is you have examples right, like sitting next to you. Right there, Mr. Jordan, he's one of them. I keep him around just as a trophy. I just dust him off every now and then. Yeah. Over 100 arrests in a 10-year span. It's like once a month, get arrested. I'm like, dude, when did you have time to even like, I know you did time, and then it's like, so you're pulling time, you're getting charged. Like, I don't even know if there's enough, mathematically, is that even possible? Apparently it is. He's living proof. But you know what he's also living proof of? That one day it can all just stop. The craziness just stops. And you start living a different life. I don't care what it is. Suicide. Sexual abuse as a child. I could present to you a woman. Most of you know her and see her around, but you don't know her story. She's one of the most kindest, giving, looks out for the poor, the needy. Was in the sex trafficked as a child in a foreign country. And that was her normal. As a teenager would find herself in trying to go hanging around military bars, getting abused and whatever, just trying to live, put a roof over her head. She's kicked out didn't have a real home. And after years, finally meets one military guy who marries her and brings her to the States. But horrible life. Now she's got multiple rental properties, owns her own business, sends money back to all of her relatives in the foreign country that she's from. And just helps the poor. Helps the poor. Oh, she should be in a straitjacket somewhere. She should be a statistic somewhere. She should have committed suicide somewhere along the way. She should be curled up in a fetal position going, why me? And then after a couple of these marriages don't work out, I wonder why, after having a childhood like that. Why can you still have a good disposition? Why can you still love others? Why can you still put others at front of yourself? Huh? I'm just saying. We're the one, I can't do this, I can't handle, and I'm not picking on you. But I could take you over to the military base right now and show you a woman who's going to school in the evenings, has to get up at 5:30 and do PT, is raising 3 kids on her own, gets them ready for daycare and ready for the school bus and everything like that, does her PT, has to come back, get all the kids ready, get them off to school, work all day, get off at 5:30, go pick up the kids at daycare, feed them supper, blah, 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 and go. And in order to further her career in the military, she's got to take continuing education classes, so she has to be enrolled in college or she won't get promoted. That's how the military is today. So after you do your 12 hours of military and while you're raising toddlers and little kids and everything simultaneously on your own, you're going to college. Don't tell me. Don't give me your excuse. If it's humanly possible, see, all you got to do is when you roll up someplace and you see another human being. See, so what we do is we post and we front and we stick out our chest and we brag about all the things we can do. And if anybody was ever put us down or we felt like we were being put down, let me tell you, you can't talk that way to me. You put your pants on the same way I put my pants on. No. Okay, great. I'm just telling you, I have this internal dialogue with myself. All I got to do is look at another human being walking around instead of being jealous for what they have. Come on, most of us, I'm just telling you, subconsciously, you want to talk about the big elephant and the ant trying to get to a different place? Here's what's happening. Because you can't help it. Subconsciously, you are constantly comparing yourself. You are constantly measuring yourself. The question is, what answer do you come up with when you measure yourself? I'll tell you what the answer is. For most all of us, almost all the time, it's yes, but I can't. And then we come up with 5 reasons why we can't. Why we are the way we are. When we compare ourselves subconsciously, and we're doing it all the time, and we see someone who's a better speaker, we see someone who's more fit, we see someone with more money, we see someone that dresses better, drives a nicer car, lives in a nicer neighborhood, doesn't matter, whatever it is, there's a comparison made. Somebody that works harder than us. That can lift more weight than us. I don't care, whatever it is. We're constantly comparing ourselves. Someone that has nicer tattoos. I don't care what it is you got. We're constantly in this comparison mindset. would have had nicer tattoos, but Bubba was my cellmate. I wish I would have had Bam Bam as my cellmate.
I do think the comparison is probably one of the most toxic traits that we have as humans. I mean, there can be healthy comparison, but I think we do have a tendency, especially in the age of social media where everybody's posting their highlight reels, that we compare our lives to a single moment that's profound for them, but it's not really their life.
Listen, but this is what I'm teaching you this morning. Use comparison as fuel. You see something you like? Why can't you have it? Why can't you be it? I'll tell you why you can't have it and why you can't be it. Because you say you can't. Because you make 10 excuses. Instead of saying, let me dig a little deeper. What are they doing that I'm not doing? Do you understand? This is why I said my motto, if it's humanly possible, I'm human, that I can't get off the hook. I have no excuse. So when I make these subconscious comparisons, we'll see what will happen to girls or whatever. Oh, yeah, she's pretty. She's got better genetics. Or we'll get jealous and we'll be catty. There'll be a guy who comes in the house. See, this happens all the time. Maybe he came from a different background or he's got some skills or some training or some vocational training or whatever, and he's good at a certain thing. Maybe someone can sing. Maybe someone can play an instrument. Whatever it is. I use this analogy all the time. If it's humanly possible, I'm human. Okay? Well, Pastor, then why aren't you a concert pianist? I could be a concert pianist. I absolutely could. 10 years from now, I could be a concert level pianist. But here's what I have to own. If I was to do that, I would have to stop doing something else. And the truth is, see, this is my truth, that I have to own it. And this will change your subconscious. I have to own this. I'm not making excuses for why I am not a concert pianist. Okay? It's not an excuse. The truth is, I don't want it as bad as I want something else. Now that's your answer to almost every reason why you don't have what you want. The truth is, you don't want to be healthy as much as you want to keep taking toxins into your body. As much as you enjoy getting up at night and raiding the refrigerator when no one's looking, eating and snacking when no one's looking. Just own it. Just own it. You don't admire. You don't desire. I don't desire to be a concert pianist as much as I desire to run this ministry. In this ministry, being a concert pianist would take, it takes 8 hours of training a day. I have to dedicate my life to it. And guess what? The truth is, I've dedicated my life to something else. That's just the truth. So therefore, I'm not going to be jealous. I'm not going to be envious. I'm not going to make excuses. I could do it, but you know what? They could do it, and It's beautiful. I love to hear a great pianist play. I could be that, but you know what? I'm not going to be, because I don't want to be, because I don't want to make the sacrifices necessary to be. That's the truth. And when you start owning that you don't want to make the sacrifices, you don't want to make the changes necessary to become what you think, you'd rather make excuses than sacrifices, just own it. See, God got to a point here. Now, I've lost 10 pounds. I've lost 10 pounds since I made that declaration of, you know what? After thinking about it for almost 5 years and seeing my belly push out, I finally made a decision. And so now I'm kind of, the way I'm doing it is I'm doing this intermittent fasting. All I do, I usually, for now about 2 weeks, I don't eat anything until I eat one meal a day. It's in the evening, 5 o'clock or whatever. When I get off work, I'll eat some solid food. Other than that, coffee, water, Gatorade. Eat one meal. Try not to do it too late at night. And I lost weight. Now, do I still want to eat something? I cheated yesterday. I went in the convenience store. Man, the convenience store had, had the deli, they had the fried fish, and you could just smell the fried fish and the chicken wings and. I splurged. Got a fish. I didn't get the whole meal, didn't get the potato wedges with the nacho cheese but you got to own it. What do you want? Don't make excuses for your poverty. I could put 100 people in front of you right now that were poorer than you ever were. And now they own their own business. They live in a nice house, have several cars. They're doing well. But see, you're going to stick out your chest. You ain't no better than me. Right? I mean, it's not a fight thing. I'm just saying. See, when I say if it's humanly possible, I'm human, that's not me sticking out my chest saying you ain't no better than me. No, that's me looking at qualities inside of you. And listen, you guys have qualities that I don't have. You guys have good qualities that I don't have. One of them is, for a lot of you, you can hold your tongue. For a lot of you, you sit and you ponder and you don't speak. Me, I usually speak before I ponder. But I can't look, you know what I'm saying? I can't look at you and go, yeah, well, they were God created them shy and they don't, and make 100 excuses, No. I should look at you and go, I admire that quality in you. I need to try and maybe even ask you, how do you do it, man? Like, you got any tips? You got any pointers? No. What do you do? How do you do this? Do you count back from 100, 99? How do you, stay calm, How do you not just lash out? But you got to own it. You got to own your weaknesses. Right? That is the first. God knew it. This is why, listen, God's love is unconditional. His salvation isn't. Salvation is not unconditional. Did you know that? Salvation is conditional. You must confess that you're a sinner. You must repent of that sin. Have godly sorrow. Really in your heart feel like, I'm sad that I have offended God. See, let me just tell you this right now. Salvation it's the most foolish thing to think that you're going to receive God's salvation because you want a better life. Oh, if I read the Bible and I pray and I just change doing different things, I'm gonna be a better person, and I want to be a better person. And so they said, say this prayer. So you know what? I'm going to believe Jesus because Jesus is going to bless me. I'm going to begin to walk in Christianity because that's a better way of life. It's less likelihood that you're going to get mugged or shot at. Just statistically, less likely that I'll wind up in jail or shot on the corner, selling drugs and running with the gangs and everything like that. So I've decided this is a better way of life. No. It ain't about you. It ain't about you. Until you have a godly sorrow that you have offended your Creator and that you are a sinner and you own that crap, you can't be saved. I'm just telling you the Bible. God loves you, but hell is full of people that God loves. They didn't meet the conditions for salvation. They died in their arrogance. They died making excuses. They died in denial. They denied that there even was a God who loved them. See, Jesus came to redeem you. Oh, that's wonderful. But I teach you that the Bible is twice as thick. See, I can't even say the word redeemed. There's some assumptions that come along with the word redeemed. What's one of those assumptions? I see some people nodding their head. Huh?
Redemption is necessary. You have something that you need to be redeemed from.
You are in a fallen state. You are redeemed. Listen, if I redeem this coupon, if I redeem this, there's something that says there's a gap in the value here. This is not worth this, but if it gets redeemed, it will be worth this. There's a gap. There's something missing. There's been something wrong. So I restore the chair because the chair is all cut up, nicked up, broken, got broken legs, this and that. And so what do? I restore the chair and then I can redeem it for its full value. Because in its current condition, it's not worth what it should be. It's less than. So the chair can't come, yeah, man, I just want some of that. Ain't nothing wrong with me, but, I want the blessing from Jesus. Got a whole lot of people. I just want more. And so I figured I'd add a little God to my life. No, man, you got to own the crap. You gotta call crap for what it is. And I sure would love to use the S word because it's just more definitive.
Just saying.
I can beat it out. You're good.
Listen, until you own it, you ain't never going to step over it, get around it. You're just always going to be walking in it, acting like it don't smell. You got it all over you because you just been walking in it. You know, you're gonna dress it up. You're gonna put in a suit, spray on some cologne, but you walking in crap, and it smells like crap, and it's overwhelming. I don't care how nice your suit is. It stinks in the nose of God. Most of us don't even want to do that. We don't want to call crap crap. Because when we finally label it for what it is, we know we got to give it up. We know that it should create some level of sorrow. Like, man, I'm sorry. I stepped in crap. I don't want to, I don't want to drag it through your whole house. But here's what most of us are doing. We're walking in crap and being like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm all good. And you're just walking all over. Somebody's got a nice, they just cleaned their house and everything. You're just walking up into their store. You're walking up into their house with all crap on your feet, just leaving a trail. But you ain't going to own it. You're going to play it off. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. I don't know. I don't know where that smell's coming from. Ain't me. I'm all good. Oh, well, let me put a little Jesus over top of the crap. And let me just keep my crap. Are you serious? It don't work that way. Jesus eradicates it. He don't put up with it. Godly sorrow, it says of godly sorrow that it has a revenge. It says, oh, what cleansing of the soul. Oh, what revenge. What do you mean revenge? Yeah, godly sorrow will put a revenge in your spirit. Will put an attitude like, I can't believe I'm going to get back everything that was taken from me. I can't believe I allowed myself or I allowed the devil to trick me. I'm going to set out to prove them wrong. I'm going to run so hard after Jesus. I'm going to do the stuff that I'm going to go in the complete opposite direction. I'm going to take revenge on my weakness. You understand? So when I feel a little hunger, pain, and everything like that, that's good, man. So I'm going to yeah, body, shut up. This is how you get skinny. Truth. We buffet our body. We make our body a living sacrifice. What does that mean? There's going to be some pain involved. And what you should do is you should enjoy inflicting pain on the thing that has been bringing you negativity.
That's biblical.
It's called revenge, godly sorrow. When you get so pissed off that you've allowed the devil or you've allowed your weakness, you've allowed your addiction to wreak havoc in your life, you will seek out revenge on it. You will do everything the opposite. You will fight it. You will plan, just like revenge, you will plan and you will make schemes to defeat it. But most of us, we're just not that sad that we're out of shape. We're not that sad about our addictions. We're not that angry that it's wreaking the havoc in our life that it is. We'll live with it. We've learned how to live with it. It is what it is. That's how I am. But godly sorrow, what clearing, what cleansing. Oh man, when you get those fresh white shoes and that fresh white tee, get away from it. You're fully aware, man. You're fully aware. You know, nothing worse. I plan like, I'm going out to eat. I really want to wear this white shirt. But after I go out to eat, I got to go to this meeting with the governor, and I can just see myself just eating that chili dog and that. Boop, 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 boop. And I got this fresh white tea. Man. Right? And it stands out like a sore thumb. Like, you know what? I better wear my paisley all, brown and everything like that. Why? Because it can hide my messy eating. If I spill something on it, I just, wipe it off. It'll blend right in. Right? But man, when you get clean and you're completely fresh and it's white, you're fully aware and you don't want nothing to get on it. And guess what? Your first response is, if something does get on it, you're pissed. You're angry. Dang, and I can't believe I did that. That's how you should be with sin. But most of us, we're not. We're just not that pissed. We're just not that grieved about our sin. So what's happened is a lot of preachers out here have preached, if you want to go to heaven, you can go to heaven. Just say this little prayer, and then you'll be good to go to heaven. And you can be just as messed up as you want to be. That ain't biblical. That ain't biblical. You got to be pissed. You got to be angry. You got to be heartbroken over sin and all your past sin. Like, it's got to like, dang it. I don't want to live this way anymore. You got to be so pissed about the sin and the havoc and the destruction that the enemy tricked you. You got to hate the devil. You got to be looking for him at every turn. You got to be wise to his thing. Man, I'm going to study and figure out how he did this to me. And I'm going to beat him the next time. He's going to be sorry he ever messed with me. I'm going to defeat this thing. And thank God I have some hunger pains. Listen, when I start, at 3 o'clock, and I'm like, man, I'm getting hungry. And I'm still up on a roof somewhere. And I feel, I feel my stomach chewing on my backbone. You know what I imagine? I imagine that's just, something's just eating away at that belly fat. Something's just, that's it. Someone, I feel that. Oh, that's a good feeling right there. That's a good feeling. Why? Because I want something. I want something more than I want food. I want health. I want fitness. And so when I feel that, I'm like, that's it. Okay. That's a good feeling. It's working. That's how it should feel. It should feel that way. That's that half pound coming off me this afternoon. I get on the scale the next morning. Oh, that little gnawing, that little rat I felt in my stomach, chewing away and wanting. That's that half a pound I wanted gone. All that is, listen, it's perspective. And your perspective is your subconscious. It's not your conscious. See, you're all going to have the same conscious thought. What category are you putting it in? What perspective are you giving to it? What I'm saying. See, and Matt's right. Comparison is bad if you don't know what to do with it. If you use comparison to belittle yourself, that's bad. And then, because here's what happened, no one likes feeling belittled. So when we have a comparative thought, and we start to feel belittled, we don't want to feel like a failure. You know what most of us do? We make an excuse for coming up short, for our inadequacy. That's the wrong thing to do. Now, basically, can I just tell you, if you haven't heard this one, an excuse, this is why I don't do excuses. Write this down. This is the definition of an excuse. An excuse is the skin of the truth, stuffed with a lie. So it looks good on the outside. But we've had to prop it up with a lie. It's the skin of the truth stuffed with a lie. That's an excuse. I don't like to do excuses. Just own it. Had somebody take a van and hit the wall and knocked half of the wall over and not tell me about it. I went and looked at the bumper, did a little scratch, couldn't tell. You know what? I didn't care. You want me to let you in on a secret? Can I let you in on a secret? You know why you have that walkway back there at the back, at the ramp coming down, kind of at the weight room? I put that there.
I've been here 10 years, and I did not know that.
I put that there. We all make mistakes. Happy little accidents that turn into nice doorways. Oh, I put a hole in a wall. Hey, that's a great place for a door. That's why I'm the boss. I got great ideas. Own it. No big deal. Just own it. Happens to all of us. Own it. Own it and then say, how could I have changed this? How could I have a different outcome? Here's one. You've been told 100 times, have a ground guide. Don't be doing these tight moves. Don't be backing up. Don't be doing all this unless someone's standing there. You've been told. But see, if we own it, then we have to own the action to correct it. I just gave you a clue. When you own it, then you have to say, I'm fine with being this way. I'm fine with being unhealthy. I'm fine with not being able to catch my breath, or whenever I have to put my shoes on, I go whew. Felt like I just ran a marathon. All I was doing was putting on my shoes. Look, you got to own it. Don't make an excuse. Own it. See, here's the thing. When you become a big enough person to say, I'm in control. An excuse, can I tell you what an excuse does? An excuse gives your power to someone else or something else. You're giving away your power. You're becoming powerless, less powerful. An excuse makes you less powerful. And eventually you will see yourself as powerless. But when you say, no, I've made the decision and I will own the fact. Can I just tell you this? You may be unhealthy, but at least you're powerful. You haven't given anything away. You haven't forfeited. You haven't conceded the match. You're owning it. Beautiful. I always say, go big or go home. The more, the better. Whatever, own it. Stop making excuses. Retain your power. Everything comes out. I've taught you this. The most powerful thing you have is your free will. And here's what excuses do. Excuses make blame that say, I can't choose my way out of this. I can't choose a different way. I'm stuck. Tell yourself that enough, and guess what you will become? Stuck. Why? Because now you've given it all away. Now you have to believe your lie to stay the way you are. Again, this preaches anywhere. I don't care. I could be speaking to CEOs or top athletes. I could be speaking to Olympian caliber athletes and say, listen, you got to own the reason why you weren't standing on the podium. You wanted gold, you wanted silver, you wanted bronze, but you came in fourth. You got to figure out why you came in fourth. Own it. Don't be powerless. Don't make excuses, because here's what's going to happen. You keep making excuses, you're always going to be fourth. Let me tell you, you won't even stay fourth. What's going to happen is someone in fifth place, someone in sixth place who owns it is going to figure out how to move up a notch. And then eventually you're going to find yourself at the back. That's the truth. Why? Because the person in sixth place who may have started out worse than you is going to say, I'm going to own my weakness. I'm going to work on my weakness. I'm going to become stronger. I'm going to improve. And guess what? Next race, they're going to be in third place. They're going to have passed you by. And you're going to, but you know what? You'll be happy because you have an excuse. Why are you running the race? Right? Isn't that what Paul said? I'm running this race to win. To win. So I lay aside every weight. Every weight. I do what's necessary to be a winner. And in order to do that, you have to own the things that are holding you back. Don't be powerless. Don't make excuses. Excuses give the power to some imaginary lie that you made up. And you have to admit, the reason why you're okay with that is because it allows you not to work. You don't have to work at it. As long as you believe the lie and you can convince the people around you to just accept the lie. Well, I'm 59 and, this just happens. All the guys get man bods and everything, and it's just, one of those things. You slow down, you start eating later. People want to take you out for dinner. You're eating after church, and church doesn't let out long. And I gotta participate. I mean, what would I be like if I just went there and I'm like, no, I'm not eating. I gotta participate with the people. Everybody in church wants to have a chicken dinner after they get together. I just, So you got to be social. I mean, what would I be like? They're all going to be drinking. I got to be social. I got to, have the beer in my hand. I got to have the wine glass in my hand. I mean, I don't want them to think I'm not, that I'm better than them. I mean, come on, right? Go ahead and make your excuse. Whatever it is, whatever you got to do. Here's an excuse that a lot of you make. Well, I know how it feels like to be like that. And they're struggling right now. And so that's why I answer their calls, and that's why I reach out to them. They just really need a friend right now. I was in their situation. And, I can remember how I was. I was staying, and I didn't have a place to stay. And so, just go ahead and let all your buddies from rehab who have relapsed, who call you up, who reach out to you, who are out there living wrong, doing wrong. Go ahead, stay friends with them. Let them back into your life. Let them sleep on your couch. Give them $5 here, $10 there. Go ahead. Whatever excuse makes you feel good. No, the truth is, you like that atmosphere. You like that part of life. You want to stay connected to that lifestyle. Just own it. Because I know there's a whole lot of people that wouldn't have a problem going, get the hell away from my family and get off my porch. My sobriety means too much to me. I ain't even answering the GD phone. I see your number, I'm blocking you. Well, Pastor, that's not very nice. No, there's some things that mean more to me than being a friend to a drunk or a drug addict. I'll leave that to Regenesis. I'll leave that to my pastor. I'll point them and I'll text them and say, hey, here's a phone number to a program. Stop calling me. Can I tell you this? There would be no such thing as drug addiction. No such thing. Drug addiction wouldn't last for more than 2 weeks. Wouldn't last for more than 2 weeks. With the exception, the only way it does, is that we have lied. Own this. We have lied to somebody and we have tricked them into hosting us. I'm going to piss some people off right now. I ain't getting invited to no AANA meeting. I can tell you this for this statement right here. Drug addiction needs a host, because to be a drug addict, you are a parasite. If you got fired from your job the minute you pissed positive, if you got kicked out your house, if a landlord wouldn't rent to you, if your girl wouldn't take you in, if you couldn't find a man who would put up with this, if you couldn't lie to your mama, if you couldn't steal from her wallet, if you couldn't this, that, or the other thing, your addiction wouldn't last more than 2 weeks. Just wouldn't. You have had to find somebody who you can lie to them enough to suck life out of them. Because there ain't no drug dealer out here giving stuff away for free. So where are you getting your money? You ain't getting it honestly. Oh no, I go to work. Guess what? I can tell you right now, there ain't an insurance company in the world that is going to give insurance to an employer that keeps people as doing drugs. But here's what happens. You'll find a company that will look the other way. You'll find a boss that sees you nodding off, sees you spending time in the bathroom, sees you over here and that, and they ain't going to call you on your crap. That's the truth. What have they become? You're the parasite, they're the host. You just got to find the right employer that'll put up with your crap. Calling off work. Not performing at your best. Spending a half an hour in the bathroom. Coming back late from lunch. There's your host. There's your host. No, I get my money. No, you don't. You found someone that puts up with your crap. And if people didn't put up with your crap, whether it was a boss, a landlord, somebody, a mama, somebody, come on. And we don't get to the end of our rope till we get to the end of our hosts. Oh, that's a quote. Write that one down. Almost all of us ain't getting to the end of our rope till we get to the end of our hosts, till we've run out of people that we can suck off of. And when there ain't nobody else that will put up with our crap, then we're like, oh, maybe I better change. Truth. But you know what will change quicker is when you wake up one day and say, I'm sick of being a parasite. Own it. Own it. God didn't create me to be this way. The Bible says it's more blessed to give than to receive. And I've been taken from my loved ones. I've been taking their love. I've been taking their kindness. I've been using it. I ain't been kind. I ain't been giving it back. Oh, in some demented way. But it ain't real because you're just thinking, I need to be nice to them so they'll keep giving to me.
But also, does that depend on the original? Because the part where you and Matt's come out, because I also had that in mind just from watching the show that I mentioned, the part of you don't have the drugs and stuff, and it takes 2 weeks. Should that depend on the different types of people? Because you got some that knows how to balance it, and some that go crazy. Like a example I could use. A crackhead could go out crazy if they don't have their crack with them, no matter what, versus a beer drinker won't have no issue going 2 weeks without beer. If he or she has to wait a month just to get a nice beer, they have no problem. But that crackhead
Maybe.
makes it serious. Like, no, I have to have it.
Listen, you're absolutely right. Here's the other thing you got to own. So once you start working on this, you'll still find yourself in cycles. You'll start seeing that there's a pattern. It's just that the pattern gets longer and bigger. The cycle, you've been able to delay it, which is good. Which is good. But now, have you gone from an everyday cycle to money happens on a cycle. The better you get at managing money, the guy who's bad at managing money, who's a bad manager of money, he needs to get paid. Hey, if I work for you today, you're going to pay me today, right? I need that money today. And if you look at society and you look at good jobs, you look at careers, you look at occupations, okay? The job that you can get paid, hey, you're gonna pay me today? I need paid today. And they're out here just I need to get paid today, I need to get paid. Those are the worst jobs to have. And then the next level of job is you get paid every week. And those are still entry-level jobs. Jobs that you get paid every week are entry-level. Entry-level jobs. This is not career. You're not going to build a career on most of those jobs. Then you get a job where it pays every 2 weeks. Because you know why? Just because what Angel's talking about. It requires a different a caliber of person, a person that has planned out their finances. Guess what? I ain't living week to week. Now I got to plan my finances and my budget every 2 weeks. And then it's monthly. You know that almost all business owners, they're not running on a 1 week, 2 week schedule. They're looking at their profitability, and they have a monthly budget, and they have a monthly amount that they need to get and bring in, and they're working on it. And then you get really big, guess what? It's annual. Now, guess what Black Friday is called? Black Friday. We have Black Friday sales in November. You know why? Because most businesses don't even come into profitability until November. That's like the 11th month of the year. They're negative. They're in debt. They ain't making no money, and they make all their money. It's called Black Friday because come Christmas time, now from the last 6 weeks of the year, they make their profit. You're either in the red or you're in the black. First time I heard this is how ignorant I was. Because I was never a business owner. Let me back up. I never owned a store, okay, until we started the ministry with the thrift store. And I had one of my ladies, it was Violet, and it was November, and she was like, are we going to have a Black Friday sale? And I'm not making this up. I'm like, oh, I need to be careful now. Like, we're downtown Petersburg here, you know. I don't need none of that racist stuff. Like, I got to be careful the reputation here. You know, what is this? What do you mean Black Friday sale? Like, we can't be. I'm serious. I thought it was like something that we're going to try to get the black people to come in here and shop, and we need to figure out ways to get them in. No, it's a term. It's a term. When you're in debt, you're in the red. When you're in the negative, you're in the red. When you're in the positive, you're in the black. All right, high five to all my black friends. When you're in the positive, it's a positive thing. In business. But that instant gratification, how long can you delay? Do you understand? Can you delay in the business world? Can you delay for 11 months and make your profit at the very end? Guess what? You got to structure, man. You got to run a tight ship, and you got to structure things in a certain way to make sure you ain't running out in June, July. It's called the dog days of summer for a reason, man. Sales just nosedive. Why? Everybody's vacationing. They ain't in shopping. You know, and then boom, it comes back up in the fall. But you gotta structure. You gotta have a plan. And this is how we have to do in our life. The more you can delay gratification, I can almost guarantee you, whether it's in your eating, in your health, delay gratification, in your relationships, in your finances. Why? It's biblical. When patience has its perfect work, you will be complete, lacking nothing. So the more you can delay, I don't care what it is, you can be complete in health if you can delay your appetites. You can be complete in your finances if you can delay your spending habits. You can be complete in your relationships if you delay your self-gratification and put other people's gratification in the relationship ahead of you. You'll have a much healthier relationship. Just delay your gratification. It's in everything. You'll be complete, lacking nothing. But again, those are things that you have to own. No, I want it now, and I don't care what I have to do now, and I don't care if it's going to cost me later. It doesn't matter. This is what I want now. Own it. At least say it that way. Own it. That's what you're doing. There's a saying in health that says, pay the farmer now or the doctor later. Well, you know how much all that organic stuff and eating healthy, man, that takes time and that takes a lot more money. It's more health. Guess what? You know what? Either pay the farmer or pay the doctor. But you're gonna have to pay somebody. All right, time to go.